Welcome back to Central News. Before the break, we heard from Professor Michael Peters and Professor Tina Besley, who have been professors around the world for the past 12 years and now have come back to New Zealand after being headhunted by the University of Waikato. Now we hear from Tina in relation to her appointment as the professor of the new centre at the University of Waikato called Global Studies in Education.
It's a centre that's just been established in the Faculty of Education under the auspices of our research unit, Wilf Malcolm Research Institute, Educational Research Institute. And it was only formally approved on the 31st of July. And it's a centre that has multiple functions. We're looking to do work associated with teaching, as in having a new specialisation for a Masters in Education, with offering 4 courses next year at the 500 level. We'll be doing research, we do writing and publications. From when we were at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign in the US, we established a book series called Global Studies in Education. And that book series now has 16 titles and developed in the last 3 years. And this series is with a New York publisher called Peter Lang Publishing. So these are sort of, and the other aspect too is conferences and seminars. And one of these was the Creative University Conference, which has just been held last week. The next one will be Freire, the Global Legacy, a famous Brazilian educator. And we've already got about 85 abstracts in for that one, and the abstracts don't close until the end of September, so we're expecting that to be a really big conference, international conference.
And are these all examples of how the centre came about?
Well, it came about because when I was based at the University of Illinois, a centre for, well, not a centre, but a degree course was established. There was a Centre for Global Studies, which was across the university, but within the College of Education there, we actually had our, like a department really set up, which was primarily for doing doing postgraduate teaching, and also for some doctoral students. So that's where the ideas came from, because something we'd already done and experienced, and to bring that back to New Zealand seemed like a pretty good idea.
And how does it feel to be one of the few women professors in charge of the centre?
Oh, it feels really exciting, but it is a team approach. I also work with Professor Michael Peters, and we'll be working in association with other faculty within Faculty of Education. And we have a large network of scholars internationally, several of whom will be coming to New Zealand in the near future and will present seminars, again under the auspices of the centre. We have, for example, Professor Youssef Wakid from University of Stellenbosch. He happens to be the Dean in Education there. He's arriving in September and here for a month. He will be associated with the centre. We'll be having other people like Professor Hugh Lauder, who's at University of Bath in the UK, and Australians like Simon Marginson from University of Melbourne will be coming out here as well. So we're making use of networks that are well established for us at the moment, and calling on the dues more or less of people we already know who are very keen to be involved.
Now, this is the first of its kind. Just how significant is the centre for the region?
I think this is very significant because this is a looking outwards, and I think we do a lot of work to a certain extent within the region, and I think to do something which actually looks out beyond and starts to locate where we are in our world, in this globalised world which we now encounter, is a very important thing, and it is the only centre of its kind in New Zealand. So this is very exciting.
How will you examine citizenship, interculturalism and international education development, and why are these important?
They are important because it is all part of being global these days. We're not an isolated community. New Zealand isn't. It may sometimes feel a bit like it, because we seem to feel sometimes we're a long way from many places, but we're not. We're very connected in all sorts of ways with many places in the world. One of the ways we'll deal with that is in the master's level courses we'll be taking. The other will be with PhD students who are already enrolled and enrolling here to be part of the centre. So this is also really exciting for us.
What is your goal with the centre?
The goal for the centre is to grow it considerably, encourage people to see that it's a way of thinking and a way of being, and we have clear goals as far as publishing, conferences and seminars are concerned, and teaching and research, but we want to try and obtain some external research grants where we may end up having to look offshore. United Nations and their associated organisations come to mind, but we do think that with this centre it will develop considerably over time and become quite a force within the university. And we actually would like to see it become much more interdisciplinary beyond the Faculty of Education in due course.
After the break, we are at Free FM, where General Manager Phil Gray enlightens us as to the world of now being on the FM frequency.